From WFRV TV, Local 5, serving Northeast Wisconsin, including Green Bay, Fox Cities, and the Lakeshore. This is Newsmaker Sunday.
Good morning. Welcome to Newsmaker Sunday. I'm Tom Zalaski. So many projects are happening in the southern end of our viewing area. So this morning we head to Fond du Lac, and breaking down all things Fond du Lac this morning is City Manager Joe Moore. Joe, thanks so much for joining us today.
Great to be with you, Tom.
Much appreciated. Before we get into things all Fond du Lac, let's get into things all Joe Moore. Where did you start? How did you get here?
Well, I'll give you the Cliff Notes version. Okay. I finished college in Virginia and then went into the Army, and I was in the Army for close to 30 years. Got to see the world a couple times over, and was a base commander on a number of occasions, and thought that that experience would translate well to city management. And so that, coupled with my desire to settle down before my kids started high school, led me to start looking for the transition to city management. And when I did that, Fond du Lac was available. I visited Fond du Lac and fell in love with it. And so there was no doubt in my mind that if the job worked out, that's where I was going to settle down. And that's the way it's worked out.
So Fond du Lac was the first city manager job you had.
The very first and the only.
City manager is not something you learn in college or in the military. Where did you get the wherewithal in the background where you knew you could do this job?
Well, as a base commander, or in the Army as we call it installation commander, I'm dealing with and in charge of everything from troop training to taking care of streets, making sure the schools are operating, making sure if we're overseas, the grocery store and the retail stores and all of those things are operating in support of all the soldiers and their families. And so it really is like a city on steroids in some cases because of so many things going on, especially in an overseas environment. And so those experiences lended themselves to the transition to city management.
Yeah, we sometimes forget that the Army is, as you say, it's a city in and of itself.
Certainly.
So you essentially were a city manager before you were a city manager.
Sure, that's right. Overseas, we essentially are plugging into the host nation electrical and water grids, and from that point forward, it's a U.S. operation inside the fence. So in your
30-year career with the Army, did you anticipate where you are today? As you sit here today, is this where you said, yeah, I thought I'd be here?
Professionally, mostly. As far as the location goes, I couldn't have told you where I would have been in 2023 if we looked back 20 years ago. But I feel so blessed to have landed here. It's such a great place to live, a great place to raise a family. And my wife and kids and I have made so many great friends here, so it feels like home.
And you've been city manager how long?
Almost 11 years.
11 years in Fond du Lac. And highlights, if you will, in that 11 years that you can look back on and say, we did this.
Oh, there's so many. I will say that it's very gratifying to look back and see how the city of Fond du Lac persevered after the effects of the recession in 2008, 2009. That was a pretty significant effect across Wisconsin, and Fond du Lac was not immune to that. You may recall, having lived here a while yourself, there was quite a bit of uncertainty about whether or not Mercury Marine would stay in this area. And Mercury decided to stay in Fond du Lac, and Fond du Lac has really thrived since then. So that pleases me greatly as a resident of Fond du Lac, as the city manager of Fond du Lac as well. And along with that, I'm so happy to see what's happened in our downtown. Our Main Street was struggling, I think it's fair to say, in 2013 and 14. The effects of the recession, especially the repricing of commercial real estate after the downturn. People have persevered through that, and our downtown really is thriving now, and that's really great to see.
We're going to get into some of those specifics, all your projects downtown. Joe Moore, City Manager of Fond du Lac, our guest this morning. We have much more to come, so stay right there. We are back now with Fond du Lac City Manager Joe Moore. Fond du Lac's got some pretty big development projects underway. I want to start with your riverfront district. What's happening there?
That's really exciting to talk about. We have The Fond du Lac River runs through our city, very near the downtown. It's an area I think that has been considered to be in the way of some of the development that's gone on in the downtown over the decades. What we want to do over the next 10 or 15 years is really to leverage what we think is a great opportunity along the Fond du Lac River to turn it into a recreation area. So we've had a lot of conversations in the community in the past few months about how we might do that. It's a pretty significant undertaking, and as I've mentioned, it's a long-term undertaking, but you can't finish until you start. And so that's where we are right now. We're really trying to imagine what our river, especially the part of it near the downtown, could be.
And you've got your Main Street corridor that connects your downtown to Lakeside Park.
Right.
What's happening there?
There's an area of our Main Street that is adjacent to Lakeside Park. It's really the main entrance into Lakeside Park. We think that there is a lot of room for potential there too. A lot of areas that we think we could improve, leverage that area as well, so that we are taking the traffic and the draw of Lakeside Park and actually extending it outside the park so we can create a more vibrant area along that main street that leads into it. We're really excited about that opportunity as well.
Lakeside Park, that's like a crown jewel you've got down there.
It is. Most of the northern edge of the city of Fond du Lac is Lakeside Park. Between the city and the lake is Lakeside Park. It's a significant place that draws people from all over for recreation year-round.
Another park you've got down there, Playmore Park.
Playmore Park is an area that we decided we wanted to really maximize its potential. And what I mean by that is it occurred to us that although we have many great playgrounds in the city, we don't have any playgrounds that are what we would call all-inclusive. In other words, kids who have mobility challenges, they may find some of our parks to be somewhat inconvenient or uninviting because they can't get on all the playground equipment. Playground Park is going to have a Miracle League ball field, and that ball field is going to be surrounded by accessible playground equipment that's great for all kids, regardless of mobility challenges. And I think that's going to be really exciting. And Playmore Park is not a small area, and so when it's done, it's just going to be a fantastic place for kids to play.
I know that every city is looking to attract business, especially these days, and Fond du Lac seems not to have any problem attracting that business. What's the attraction? What's bringing businesses there?
Fond du Lac's got a great reputation for having an incredible workforce. And our economy in the local area has been booming since 2014, 2015. And frankly, the initial stage of the pandemic was a setback, but it was not very long lasting. Our unemployment went essentially to 2 to 3% in about 2018, and it's been persistently there ever since. And so if anybody's looking for a job, there's such a wide range of jobs in Fond du Lac. The manufacturing sector obviously is booming with the growth, especially in the marine industry, but commercial areas of Fond du Lac are booming as well. And so just recently, at the end of March, unemployment was about 2% in the city of Fond du Lac, just an indication of how the economy's been so strong there.
Every city seems to have an issue with housing for their community, looking for not only affordable housing, but you also want some of that high-end housing as well. Where does Fond du Lac stand there? Are you looking to build more? Are you happy with where you are?
We're absolutely looking to build more of all kinds. And if a city doesn't have adequate housing options for people of all economic backgrounds and ages, then it's a significant impediment to growth. And so we really are focused on expanding our housing stock across the board because we are interested in continuing our growth.
And are there any restrictions as far as your housing goes? I mean, I imagine it's pretty nice to have your housing along the lake and near Lakeside Park. Is the housing being built in that area or back in town further?
The real opportunities for neighborhood development are on the edges of the city.
Okay.
And we see a lot of potential there as well, because those areas are convenient to some of our other parks, some of our trails. So those are very enticing areas as well. The area around the park, as you've mentioned, is incredibly nice, and that's all built up. Those houses are very sought after, and they're very, very great opportunities to live out there, but the new development's really on the edges of the city.
Everybody wants to be on that Gold Coast.
That's right.
Yeah, Joe Moore is our guest, Fond du Lac City Manager. We have more to come after this, so stay right there. We are back now with Joe Moore, Fond du Lac City Manager. A lot of cities have this no mow initiative throughout Wisconsin. Fond du Lac, one of those communities. Is yours a pilot program, or has it been going on for some time now?
It's a pilot program. This is year one. I thought it quite strange that yesterday on May 1st, day one of No Mow May, it snowed. So
Yes.
not a lot of race to be mowing yesterday, but it is a pilot program, and we have just shy of 200 people who have registered. We asked people to let us know if they were going to actively participate. We have mapped all of those properties, all those residences, so people can see online where those are. And we want to see how from this year to next what the interest level is and how it's being received in the community. But I would expect by the end of May we'll start to get a lot of feedback from people who've participated.
Yeah. City of Fond du Lac has decided not to bring back your bird scooters for 2023. You tried them out last year.
Right.
What happened? What went into the decision to not bring them back? What didn't work well?
The decision actually was made by Bird, and I think that their thinking was they wanted to consolidate their operations a bit, and perhaps one of the challenges they faced last summer was the ability to do maintenance, and those scooters require regular maintenance, especially for charging on a nightly basis.
Right.
And so our understanding from Bird Scooters is that it wasn't necessarily one and done, that last year would be the only year, but I think they wanted to take a pause and have the opportunity to rethink how they deployed the scooters into our city, and then how they provided sort of that daily maintenance of the scooters, so that they're not only charged, but they're relocated overnight into the sort of high demand areas. That's really important for scooter management. I didn't know any of this a year and a half ago, but I've learned a lot about it since then. But that's kind of what went into it.
Seems every city in northeast Wisconsin and in the southern part of our state, we always have spring flooding problems. Is that an issue in Fond du Lac? And if so, how are you dealing with that?
It hasn't been this year. Our flooding challenge is dependent on a couple of things every winter, at the end of every winter. Number one, the thickness of the ice on the Fond du Lac River, and number two, the rapidity of that ice breaking apart. If the ice isn't too thick and if it doesn't break apart too quickly, we really don't have any risk of flooding. What happens is, if it breaks apart very quickly, then it tends to dam the river. And when that happens, we do have flooding. The last time that happened would have been in the late winter of 2019. It's completely fluky depending on how fast the temperature is rising, and that's really what drives the breaking up of the ice on the river.
And does your riverfront development have any impact on the flooding?
We're taking that into consideration because that's something we need to really be cognizant of, that we don't want to do anything that would exacerbate that risk, and we wouldn't want to build anything that is put at risk by potential flooding, and so we're being really cautious about that.
We are back to wrap up with Joe Moore right after this. Stay right there. We are back now with Fond du Lac City Manager Joe Moore. We were talking earlier about your brick and mortar type development projects. Talking about something on a different vein here. The downtown placemaking project. What is that?
Our intent there is to improve essentially our signage so that when somebody comes to Fond du Lac, it's very easy for them to find their way around, to find the highlights of where we think visitors would like to see and experience parts of our city. And so that really is the goal of all of that. So when you come to Fond du Lac, you may be visiting for your first time, but we're going to try to help you find a good time while you're in Fond du Lac, and that's our idea about the placemaking that we're setting about to do.
And is that something that you felt was lacking? There was a need for that? Were people asking, getting lost?
Exactly. It's part of the process of improvement in our downtown. We've made a lot of strides in our downtown, and this is just one of those things in the process to make it even better, because we who live there want a great downtown, but we want to be good hosts too for people who come to visit us, and we think that's important.
Whenever we hear the name Fond du Lac, you can't help but think of Walleye Weekend.
That's right.
How long has that been going on down there?
It's
probably before your time.
Oh, well before my time. It's been decades, and the amazing thing to me, it was started by our Visitors Bureau as a way they thought to get people to come to the city. I think they were right.
They did.
Yeah. So they'll probably have 50,000 or so people over the course of 3 days, a weekend in June, a long weekend in June. And when the weather's great, there's just no stopping it. It's amazing how many people come to the city to experience it. It's 3 full days of a lot of fun, great music, awesome food, and just good times. And a lot of families use it as reunion times. I don't know if you knew that, but a lot of people really do come back together during Walleye Weekend. Kids who've gone away from college come home, and people who've gone, to other cities to work come home, because they know that there's going to be a lot of fun there, and it's a great place to be at Lakeside Park.
Yeah, this is not just some big fishing tournament.
No.
I mean, maybe it started that way, but now it's kind of evolved. What does that event mean to your city economically? What kind of an impact does that have?
It's hundreds of thousands of dollars, because we not only have everyone who's coming there for food and fun, but we also have professional fishing championships going on. There are people, many people come and spend many nights there because they're all about the fishing. Hundreds of people will be on the lake that weekend fishing for the Mercury Marine Fishing Championship. So that's a big deal too.
That's kind of like the Summerfest of fishing.
That's exactly right. It's really something to see if you're there midday on Saturday of Walleye Weekend to see the boats starting to come in and have their fish counted and weighed. It's fascinating to see what great fishermen bring in from Lake Winnebago.
Yeah, and this is not just your local guys. You've got people coming in from where? From all over,
all over the world, literally. I mean, Lake Winnebago's got a reputation as a place where the sport is just phenomenal. And so people want to be part of that because they know that they're going to be fishing with some of the best people around.
Yeah.
And they are a part of it, and it's a lot of fun. Plus, they also get to enjoy Walleye Weekend, too. That doesn't hurt. And
your hotel space, you're okay with that when you get a crowd like that coming in?
Sure. And in our part of the state, Road America demands a lot of hotel rooms. People stay in Fond du Lac to go to Road America. People come to Walleye Weekend, they not only stay in Fond du Lac, but they also stay at Elkhart Lake. So it runs both ways depending on the demand.
And are you not kind of a bleed over city for EAA?
Big time.
Not just staying in the hotels, but also flying into
Certainly. The airport in Fond du Lac is absolutely packed during EAA. Hundreds of small planes and tents. It's something to see. It's something people can't imagine what it looks like unless they've actually experienced.
And that's in Fond du Lac. That's not at the EAA ground.
That's right. Instead of a campground with RVs, it's a campground with tents and planes.
Yeah. And do you make plans for that every year?
We do. The demands are phenomenal because restaurants are packed, bars are packed, hotels love it because they're packed. Everything in the city just hums during EAA because there's so many people moving about.
Where are you on law enforcement? Every city seems to have a shortage. You got older guys retiring. They can't fill the spots. How is Fond du Lac doing in that regard?
We have similar challenges. We have a great police department. Matter of fact, just last week, we had our reaccreditation visit from WLEAG, and that's important to us to be reaccredited, and I think we will be. We got really great feedback from the team. But like all police departments, all law enforcement agencies in the state, we're challenged with recruitment. We're getting great people. We wish we could get more of them, and so we are continuing to work that with the tech colleges and other sources. but it's really important to us, especially in this tight labor market, that we be an employer of choice.
And is it the same with fire as it is with police?
It is. We have had some hiring challenges in fire rescue for the first time in a long time. Same reasons why. The economy's doing great. There's a lot of opportunities for people who are looking for good jobs, but we've got great departments. Our fire department's accredited also. So, you know, we've got 2 departments that have achieved the gold standard, and that's a great employment retention and recruitment opportunity when we're selling ourselves to potential employees.
Yeah. Got about a minute here. Future projects coming up for Fond du Lac.
We are going to build a bridge to connect Lakeside Park, we talked about that park, with Lakeside Park West. Lakeside Park West is kind of hard to get to. The bridge we're going to build between the 2 of them will span the Fond du Lac River just south of Lake Winnebago. And that'll give people who are out for a run, a walk, or on their bike a chance to go from one to the other and really expand their horizons as far as the distances they can go and sort of the nature they can see. And I think it's going to be a really great thing.
Joe Moore, it's been great. Thanks for being here with us this morning. Much appreciated. Things we did not know about Fond du Lac.
Thanks very much.
Lots going on down there. And if you have a newsmaker in your town who you think we should have on this program, let us know about it. Send us an email to tips@wearegreenbay.com, or you can message us on Facebook. And be sure to join us once again Sunday morning at 7:30. Until then, have a great day.